A moonless night draped over Beijing on September 10th, 2025. The air was thick with silence and too many empty streets. In a luxury residential building in Chaoyang District, Yu Menglong, actor, singer, beloved by millions, spent his evening among friends. He laughed, shared stories, perhaps debated art. Glasses clinked. The kind of night that seems ordinary, but sometimes it's the ordinary nights that carry the heaviest weight. Later, around 2 a.m., Yu retreated alone to a bedroom, shutting the door behind him. His friends left, whispering about hours ahead, routines, schedules. The room was still. Outside, the city slept, or pretended to. But inside that apartment, something shifted. Morning came. Sunlight trickled past window frames. Friends, early risers, knocked softly on the door. No answer. Concern stayed. They knocked harder. Still silence. Panic flickered. They checked other rooms, called his name. And then, the unthinkable. They discovered his body outside, near a window. A fall from the building, 5 stories high. Some reports say, everything descending in a brutal instant. The concrete unforgiving, the sky unrelenting. Yu Menglong was 37. Shock rippled through social media. Fans awoke to rumors. How? Why? All questions. The apartment's window insect screen was torn. Some neighbors said they saw scratch marks on the frame. Some claimed to have heard a scream, a cry that broke the thin boundary between life and death. Others whispered about wounds unseen, about alcohol, about loss of balance, fatal misstep in darkness. His agency issued a statement. Police said no foul play. Investigators confirmed authorities found no evidence of criminality. Still, rumors thundered online. Broken screen mesh, possible struggle, whispers of visions or video clips showing anguish. A final video, allegedly showing him in distress, began circulating. Did you fall by accident? Or was something more sinister hidden in shadows? His mother, her voice trembling yet firm, spoke out days later. She said Yu Menglong had fallen accidentally from a building after drinking. She begged the public to stop speculating, to let the police finish their work. Funeral arrangements had been made. Investigations concluded. Yet the questions did not dissipate. They clustered in dark corners of comment threads, in late-night musing, in unsettled hearts. Yu Menglong rose from humble seeds. Born June 15, 1988, in Uremi, Xinjiang, he carved his path, first as a singer in talent shows, then as an actor in hit dramas like Go Princess Go and Eternal Love. He was seen as gentle, artistic, someone with a soft smile and deep eyes. Millions followed him on Weibo. His career was rising, his name beloved. He carried dreams on his shoulders. In those final hours, somewhere above cement and streetlights, fate waited. He may have been alone, locked in, drunk, perhaps disoriented. The insect screen, hard to detach without effort. The facade of careless accident or tragic mischance. When he fell, or when his body was found, time itself seemed to pause. Reality fractured. A star extinguished before dawn. This fall is more than physical. It is emotional. It's the abrupt end to stories people told each other. One day, I'll see him live. He inspired me to act. He won't fade away. But now they wonder, will we ever know the whole truth? Will memory settle in peace or sorrow forever? Yu's death has reopened old conversations about mental health, celebrity pressures, about how fame can isolate as much as it illuminates, about safety measures, window screens, building safety nets, overlooked details that become lethal in mistakes, about how one night, one decision, one instability can pivot a life into loss. Fans mourn not just the actor, but the person behind the lights, smiling on red carpets, practicing lines in dim studios, recording vocals until dawn. Those quiet moments, shaved by the glare of public life, are now magnified. People share their favorite lines, clips, songs. They post his photos. They gather online, praying that the investigation gives answers that feel truthful. The official story: Yu Menglong died from an accidental fall due to alcohol influence. Medical or forensic teams found no signs of foul play. His agency confirmed his death. Police ruled out criminal activity. His mother issued a plea. Let him rest. Let the rumors die. Still, in every rumor there is a seed of longing. For clarity, for closure, for comfort. Some say the insect screen was torn from inside. Then why the scratch marks? Some say he locked the door. Did he hide, or just protect privacy? They say he had a schedule the next day. Why cram adrenaline? Why risk the edges of bed lamps and balcony railings when dawn was coming anyway? They wonder, did fear drive him to the edge? Did regret pull him back too late? It is human to ask, to want to close the loop. But the truth is often messy. Accidents are not neat. They leave edges jagged, hearts splintered. There is no rewind, only ever after. For those watching from across oceans, fans in Southeast Asia, or travelers in Europe, or friends in small towns, you felt something shift this week. Some lost a hero. Others lost a friend they never met. Yu's last breath carried more than oxygen. It carried hopes, unfilmed roles, melodies unheard. And now, in memory, we carry him forward. We listen to his songs, rewatch his dramas. We speak his name. Beijing sleeps tonight differently. The lights of the city seem dimmer. Windows catch moonlight but offer no warmth. Fans scroll silent feeds. Comments bloom like candles. Rest in peace, Yu. We want the truth. He is missed. If there is one truth beyond words, life is precious. Fragile. We stand on ledges every day. Emotional, physical, spiritual. Sometimes we forget to pull away from edges when we still can. Sometimes mistakes happen. Sometimes darkness sways our feet. It doesn't matter how famous you are. It doesn't matter how many admire you. We are human. We must remember Yu for more than the way he died. We must remember him for how he lived. For that quiet commitment to art. The voice in his songs. The passion in his roles. The courage to step onto stage. For every fan he touched. Every smile he kindled. For the beauty he shared with the world. May he rest. May the rumors fade. May what remains be love. And when the next sunrise comes in Beijing, somewhere, someone will whisper his name. And in that whisper he lives on. The night had a stillness that felt unnatural. Beijing's cityscape usually thrummed with noise even in the early hours, but on that particular night, the atmosphere seemed muted, as if fate itself had pressed pause. Inside Yu Menglong's apartment, the faint hum of air conditioning mingled with the soft laughter of friends who had gathered hours earlier. Bottles stood half empty on the glass table, their reflections shimmering like broken memories under the dim glow of a chandelier. Yu was not loud that night. He never was. He listened more than he spoke, occasionally flashing that polite half-smile that fans often described as both gentle and mysterious. Those around him assumed everything was fine. Why wouldn't it be? He was at the peak of his career, surrounded by familiar faces. Yet beneath the surface, there was something in his eyes, an exhaustion too heavy for words, a flicker that disappeared whenever someone looked too closely. Around 1:45 a.m., the gathering thinned. Friends slipped out into the night, whispering their goodbyes in the hallway, unaware they were leaving Yu alone for the final time. His door clicked shut. Silence swallowed the room. The city outside glittered indifferently, neon signs blinking like cosmic signals. What happened next remains a mystery, but piecing together fragments from police reports, witness accounts, and eerie speculation, one can begin to imagine the harrowing sequence. You walked to the window. The room was still, yet his reflection in the glass looked blurred, ghost-like. Perhaps he leaned against the pane for air, the alcohol warm in his bloodstream. The insect screen stretched across the frame looked flimsy in the half-light. Neighbors later recalled hearing a faint scratching sound, like nails dragging across mesh. Was he trying to push it open? Was he clawing for balance? Or was he caught in a struggle within himself, between staying inside and stepping into the void? The scene outside was deadly silent. Not a car horn, not a dog barking, only the wind brushing past the building, as if nature itself held its breath. At 2:07 a.m., a sudden noise shattered the quiet. Some neighbors swore they heard a muffled thud. Others claimed they heard a scream cut short. A woman from the opposite building said the sound made her sit up in bed, her heart racing, though she dared not look out the window. She said later, it felt like the air had cracked. By the time his friends returned around dawn, they found his room locked from the inside. They knocked once, twice, then harder, their voices rising in panic. No reply. A dreadful unease gripped them. The door finally gave way, but the room was empty, except for the gaping window. That was when someone looked down and saw what no one ever wanted to see. Yu Menglong lying motionless 5 stories below. The courtyard was quiet, eerily untouched, except for his body framed in the glow of early morning light. The cement beneath him bore the cruel mark of impact. The torn insect screen dangled above, flapping gently in the wind as though mocking the fragility of it all. When paramedics arrived, the world seemed to move in slow motion. Gloves snapped. A stretcher unfolded. Yet every action felt hollow because deep down, everyone knew the truth. Time had already stolen him. His friends wept, some collapsing onto the floor, their cries echoing against the concrete walls of the courtyard. One of them reportedly whispered, "He was just smiling. He was just fine hours ago." That sentence, simple yet devastating, still circulates online among fans who cannot reconcile the contrast between the man they adored on screen and the body they read about in headlines. Speculation spread like wildfire. Some pointed to the ripped screen, arguing it takes force to break. Others wondered about the alcohol, whether it clouded his judgment. Rumors whispered of unseen stress, secrets untold. But as his mother later pleaded, he fell by accident. Her voice, though steady, carried the weight of unbearable grief. Still, those final moments remain haunting. Imagine the seconds before the fall, the dizzy sway, the desperate grip on the window frame, the cold night air rushing in, perhaps one final thought racing through his mind. Did he realize in that instant how close he was to the edge? Did he try to pull back, only to slip? Accidents are cruel. They steal without warning. They don't give second chances. And this one felt like a scene too unreal to belong to life, yet too raw to be fiction. Fans later gathered outside the building, clutching flowers, lighting candles. Some sat in silence, staring at the window where the screen had torn. Others sobbed openly, replaying his dramas on their phones as if clinging to the version of him that was eternal, smiling, alive, untouchable. The courtyard became a shrine. The air, heavy with incense and grief, carried whispered prayers. Rest well, you. We will remember you. For days, Beijing itself seemed subdued. Online, hashtags burned with sorrow. People replayed his interviews, searching for hidden meanings in his words. They zoomed into photos, trying to catch signs of distress they might have missed. But sometimes tragedy is simply tragedy. No foreshadowing, no neat explanation, just a cruel twist of chance. And yet, the image of that torn insect screen remains etched in the collective mind. A silent witness, a flimsy barrier that couldn't hold, a symbol of how thin the line can be between safety and disaster, between life and death. Perhaps that's why this story feels so haunting, because it was so sudden, so avoidable, so mercilessly final. One moment, a man admired worldwide was inside his home. The next, he was gone, leaving behind questions that may never find answers. But maybe the truth is not in the how, but in the what remains. A night that started with laughter ended with silence. A window became a passage between two worlds, and a fall turned an ordinary September night into one of the darkest in Chinese entertainment history. Yu Menglong's final scene was not scripted. It wasn't acted. It was real. Too real. And it leaves us all with one aching thought. Sometimes, the brightest stars fall when we least expect it. Drop your thoughts in the comment. Like, share and subscribe for more details about Yu Menglong's sudden passing.